done a lot, and I'm not even going to say it here because if I did, this internet, Beyonce's good internet, would go crazy. Did I tell y'all what I've done? Okay. I'm going to tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. They ain't called me to go to the Rock Nation brunch. They haven't called me to go to the Gold Party.
To accept being honored.
They haven't called me when we offered to honor Jay-Z at the award show. They didn't call me to go to the press conference about striking the deal with the NFL while we were kneeling for Kaepernick. They didn't call me to ask me what I thought about her hair care product. They didn't call me to offer a free bottle of her perfume. I didn't get to go backstage on.
If Jason Lee keeps running his mouth about Beyonce and Jay-Z the way he does, he might as well forget about ever getting invited to anything in that circle again. And now, allegedly, he's taking it even further by dragging Solange into the mix, which is wild. For somebody who says he loves Beyonce, he sure moves funny. Not that Beyonce seems pressed to deal with him anyway, because we all saw that clip where she clearly avoided him while he followed her around all night trying to snap a picture. That moment was awkward, no debate. He later claimed he got the photo and that Beyonce knew exactly who he was, so he brushed it off like it was nothing. Maybe that's his version of the story. Who knows? But the vibe in that video told a whole different tale, and people caught that energy fast.
I'd say probably 4 or 5 times.
Did she know who you were?
Yeah, so when she walked in, she saw me and she was whispering to Jay, and she was hugging Jay, and she looked at me and she said, "It's Hollywood."
Now let's talk about the bigger rumor floating around. There's chatter that Beyonce and her sister Solange aren't as tight as they used to be, and people are connecting dots everywhere. Some say Mama Tina might somehow be in the middle of it. Others whisper that Diddy's past ties with Jay-Z played a role. Then there's the ongoing talk about Beyonce standing by Jay-Z despite the serious allegations that have surrounded him. On top of that, some believe Solange might feel overlooked or tired of being pulled into situations she never asked for. It's all speculation, but the streets are talking heavy. And somehow Jason is positioning himself like he's the one holding the inside scoop. That's where it starts to feel messy. When someone hints they've got tea and receipts, especially involving family, it comes off less like reporting and more like pressure. Some people even say it sounds like low-key blackmail, which is a serious look.
Share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts. Yvette know I got the receipts. I got them. Now if I get that message to Beyonce,
yes,
I
she
can
needs
get
to
it
know.
to be. I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette. We're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's going to be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put.
Jason has been loud about what he calls gatekeeping in the industry, especially when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce. He's thrown out multiple allegations about the Carters before, and it reportedly caused tension behind the scenes. Now with Solange's name added to the mix, this situation just turned up another level. Jason even went on his podcast and claimed that Jay-Z had people calling him to warn him about speaking out. Then he took it a step further and said Jay-Z wanted to unlive him. That's a huge accusation to throw out there, and it instantly had people raising eyebrows. Those are serious claims, and once you put that energy into the air, it's hard to walk it back. This isn't the first time Jason has come at the Carters either. He's accused Beyonce and Jay-Z of being anti-black, called Beyonce fake, and said her products are trash. He's been loud and bold with it too. And like we mentioned before, he hinted that he had something on Beyonce that could ruin her. He never actually said what it was, but the rumor mill started spinning fast. Some online chatter claims it might involve Solange, and that's why people think there could be tension between the sisters. Nothing is confirmed, but the speculation is loud. Now, to really understand why this even matters, you have to look at the history between Beyonce and Solange. Back in the day, they were inseparable. In 2012, Solange spoke to Roller Coaster magazine and called Beyonce her role model. She credited her big sister for helping guide her through the music world. In her own words, she said she was and is such a role model, and explained that watching Beyonce go through the good, the bad, and everything in between taught her what fame really looks like. That's deep respect right there. They've always been protective of each other too. When Solange was getting bullied in school, Beyonce reportedly showed up with her band members to support her. That's not just sister energy, that's ride or die energy.
But I'm very protective, and I always treated her like my baby. And one day she told us this little bully, this little guy in school, she was only about 9, was really So me and my girls all showed up and we surrounded him and we're like, "You've been messing with my sister? I'm telling you, you've been warned, and tell him Destiny's Child is warning you." So we were real gangster.
And then there's that long-running conspiracy theory claiming Beyonce is actually Solange's mother, not her sister. There's zero proof behind that story, but it's one of those rumors that refuses to disappear. The internet loves a wild twist, and this family has had plenty thrown at them. That conspiracy theory really took off after BuzzFeed covered it in 2013. The claim was that Beyonce is older than she says she is. The evidence people pointed to was a supposed birth certificate from 1974, allegedly shared by some unnamed Texas civil servant. No verified proof, just a document floating around and a lot of loud opinions online. Then conspiracy fans added another layer. In 2008, Gabrielle Union said, "Beyonce and I have been friends since we were teenagers." Now Gabby was born in 1972, so the internet immediately started doing the math and acting like they cracked a secret code. But honestly, that theory feels shaky. Beyonce's childhood has been documented for years. There are old performance clips, interviews, pageant footage, and family stories going way back. So unless there was some massive plan in place from the very beginning, the timeline doesn't really fall apart. It sounds dramatic, sure, but drama doesn't equal facts. What isn't up for debate is how protective Solange has always been over her big sister. Everyone remembers that elevator incident. When Jay-Z was accused of doing Beyonce wrong, Solange confronted him, and the whole thing was caught on camera. That footage spread everywhere in seconds, and people still replay it, especially the part where Beyonce stayed calm and just stood there watching. The internet had a field day with that moment, no doubt. As for when things may have shifted between the sisters, fans started noticing something felt different during that Grammy speech. Beyonce thanked a long list of people, but Solange's name wasn't mentioned. That caught attention fast, especially since Solange has played a real role in her journey and even contributed creatively to her music.
God, for protecting me. Thank you, God. I'd like to thank my Uncle Johnny, who's not here, but he's here in spirit. I'd like to thank my parents, my father, my mother, for loving me and pushing me. I'd like to thank my beautiful husband, my beautiful 3 children who are at home watching. I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre. God bless you.
Around that time, insiders reportedly said there was tension, with one source claiming, "We all thought it was odd that Solange wasn't part of Beyonce's new album." And just like that, the rumors picked up speed again. Insiders were saying the album had a vibe that was right up Solange's alley, which made her absence stand out even more. Not only was she reportedly not involved in the project, but fans noticed she didn't post a single tweet or Instagram message supporting Renaissance. That silence hit different. One source even said, "I think it's weird for her not to be out supporting Beyonce. Bey took a chance on her latest album, Renaissance." According to them, the album needed a strong push, and support from family would have meant a lot. Now, to be fair, that same insider admitted they didn't have direct proof of a fallout. They said they hadn't seen clear evidence of a rift. But then they added, "I've heard things about their relationship. I think something is definitely going on between them." And once words like that get out, the speculation spreads fast. What really fueled the talk was the contrast. In past years, Solange publicly defended Beyonce, especially when fans felt she was overlooked for Album of the Year. She didn't stay quiet back then. So when Renaissance dropped and there was no visible support, people started connecting dots. Suddenly, social media was filled with claims that their once tight bond wasn't the same anymore. Then came the whispers about Mama Tina. Some online chatter suggested she may have played a role in tension between the sisters. There have long been rumors that Tina favors Beyonce more openly. Nothing confirmed, just ongoing speculation that she shows more public praise and pride toward her eldest. Over time, critics also pointed out that Solange contributed creatively to Beyonce's work, including songwriting, yet didn't always receive equal spotlight. That's when the street narrative shifted. Some began saying Solange might have felt underappreciated, like she was giving a lot but not getting the same recognition in return. And according to that theory, that feeling could have caused her to slowly distance herself from the family spotlight. No hard proof, just layered rumors stacking up and keeping the conversation alive. There are also claims floating around that Solange and Beyoncé aren't as close these days because Beyoncé continues to stand by her husband despite past public controversies. According to the rumor mill, Solange allegedly encouraged her sister to walk away from the marriage, feeling like there had been too much disrespect. Some even say Solange was uncomfortable with certain industry connections tied to Jay-Z and tried to warn Beyoncé, but Beyoncé chose not to listen. That's the story people are running with, at least. Now here's where it gets even messier. The latest whispers suggest the real fallout might be about Solange wanting to speak out about something involving Beyoncé, and Beyoncé allegedly shutting that down fast. Some online chatter claims this is the tea Jason has been hinting at. Again, no proof, just loud speculation stacking up on top of more speculation. Then, things take a sharp turn. There have been reports online claiming Solange has been exploring African spiritual practices and stepping back from the spotlight. Let's be clear, practicing spirituality is personal and cultural, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the internet twisted it into something dramatic. People pointed out she hasn't released a major project in years and started building wild narratives around that silence. When Nicki Minaj recently called out powerful figures in the industry, Solange reportedly posted and deleted an image of a doll tied to spiritual symbolism. Some took it as a message. Others said it meant nothing. Still, the blogs ran with it. There are even claims saying Solange has changed and might one day expose her own family. That's a heavy accusation with zero solid backing, but it's circulating. And then Jaguar Wright made explosive allegations, claiming Jay-Z and Beyoncé are involved in serious misconduct, including illegally transporting people across borders. Those are extremely serious claims. It's important to state clearly that these accusations have not been proven, and no verified evidence has been presented to support them. But once statements like that hit social media, they spread fast and spark intense debate.
You think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits. These are normal practice.
At this point, it's a storm of rumors, accusations, and online theories colliding all at once. On top of all that, Rihanna's former publicist, Jonathan, also made some bold claims. He said federal agents once stopped him and were allegedly keeping close tabs on Jay-Z after an incident involving Lance Rivera. That's a serious statement to put out there. He also claimed that during Jay-Z and R. Kelly's joint tour, there were investigations happening behind the scenes. According to him, Jay-Z was being looked at for allegedly transporting women across borders. These are heavy accusations, and it's important to say clearly that none of this has been proven in court. Online, some people even went as far as suggesting Beyonce might have been involved and that Solange somehow got pulled into it too. That's where the rumors really start spinning out of control. There is no verified evidence backing those claims, but once those narratives hit social media, they move fast and take on a life of their own. Now, whether any of this connects to the tea Jason says he has on Beyonce is still a mystery. He's been teasing like he knows something big, but he hasn't laid out solid proof. Is he holding real receipts, or is this just another move to get a reaction? Some people think he's bluffing to stir attention, others believe there's more going on behind closed doors. And then there's the theory that whatever he's hinting at might involve Solange. That's what the streets are whispering. But what do you think? Was Jason just talking big, or do you believe there's truth behind those hints? And if there is something real, could Solange actually be connected to it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and join the conversation. I want to hear your take on all of this.